Distributive property is what we're looking at. And distributive property is distributing a number on the outside of a parenthesis to everything inside the parenthesis. So I'm going to show you two different ways to do the same thing, and it does not matter to me which way you use as long as you are understanding it. So our problem is 2 and then the quantity x plus 6. So we're multiplying that 2 to everything inside. So we're going to do 2 times x. I'm not going to put a time sign in there because otherwise it gets confusing with that variable. And if you're using a time sign, use a dot, use an asterisk, use parentheses, but don't use an x because 2x looks really confusing. And then we're going to add 2 times a positive 6, which I'm just going to write it out this way. And you don't have to always write that step. I just want you to kind of see what's happening. So 2 times x is 2x, plus 2 times 6 is 12. And those are not like terms. That's as far as we can get that expression to simplify. If we can't simplify that expression when they're in the parentheses, when we have an answer, we're not going to be able to simplify them there. Another way to see the same thing is called an area model. So I'm going to put whatever's out front just on the side. There's only one term there, so I'm going to put it on the smaller side. And then I'm going to put the other 2 terms out, and then I'm going to multiply. So 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 6 is 12, and then I'm just writing them out. A lot of people like to start with this one, and eventually they move over to this one. Anytime we learn something new with this, people tend to go back to the area model and stay there until their comfort level is at a good spot. It does not matter which level you're at. We'll keep working with those. So if I give you another example, such as -5 times 3x minus 4, I'm going to have you pause and see if you can come up with both methods, or at least come up with a method that you like best. Again, you don't have to know them both, just whatever one you like best, and then we'll come back to that. All right, hopefully you had a moment to kind of look at those and thinking through. So on this one, I like to draw on the arrows because people tend to forget multiplying by the second number. I'm doing -5 times 3, so -15x. There's only one x. It's different if there's x's in both spots, but that's a whole different unit. And then I'm doing -5. Treat this as a -4. So -5 times -4 is a positive 20. And again, that's as simplified as we can get. On this one, I'm going to put the -5 out front. And there's 2 terms on the inside, so I'm making 2 boxes, 3x and a -4. So on this one, sometimes it's just helpful because we're able to put that negative out, and it's easier to see. 5 times -3 is -15, and there's 1x. -5 times -4 is 20. A little bit more work, but if it's easier for you to understand, that's what's most important. And so this one here, you're just trying. Pick the method that you like, and you're just trying those out. Down here, these are all more area models, so just kind of to double check and see how you like those. So on this first one, we're going to do 8 times 5, which is 40. 8 times 11, which is 88, and it's saying 40, 88, and then the total area, 128, because we're just adding all those together. This one, again, you're just taking the numbers, and I believe they're written on the bottom because sometimes when you're typing things out, it doesn't always like me. So 7 times 6 would be what I'm multiplying to get here. A lot of people start talking about Punnett squares in 7th grade, and they're a little bit different, but it's kind of that idea of how you're doing that multiplication. And then this one would be a 7x, so rectangle A is 42. Rectangle B is 7x. And my total area, we're just adding those together. And it's already simplified. Those are not like terms in this case, so they cannot be added together. Get a couple more here. Number 4, all it is you have 3 boxes. Use the same method. 9 times 3, 9 times 4, 9 times x. And then adding those all together. So go ahead and try those, and then you can check.